All right, we're going to teach you the 3-step S.B.C. weight loss framework that almost always works. In fact, it's always worked when I've applied it to my clients. This is what good trainers know that you should learn for yourself. We're going to teach you right now. By the way, it's not intuitive. It's kind of opposite of what you think. Let's get into it. Yeah, this addresses this right here. If you do it right, the odds of success go through the roof. The problem is everybody does what we're about to say in the opposite direction. And so we're going to walk through the right order of how to approach weight loss so that by the end of your weight loss journey, your odds of success and maintenance are much higher. Because
all about the setup.
That's right, because the challenge isn't weight loss. Weight loss is actually, if you look at the data, people successfully lose weight all the time. It's keeping it off. That's the problem. Now, I know a lot of people think the reason why people can't keep it off is because they're not able to maintain discipline or structure. That's kind of part of it. But if you set yourself up to the point where maintaining is so difficult because your calories are so low, you're working out too much, more than you can sustain, well, yeah, of course you're going to fail. And so what we learned as trainers, and this is what good coaches know, is that when we're getting people through weight loss, we're always thinking of the end result, the setup. How can we set them up for this to be successful long-term? And what that starts with is something you don't think when it comes to weight loss. We start with strength. That's the S in the S.B.C. weight loss framework.
This is so important. I want to add too, because I know when we communicate this, one of the things that I get in like messages is, well, what about somebody who's trying to lose like 50 or 100 pounds? This sounds like something like someone who just needs to lose a few pounds. That's what you do. And
it's even more important.
This is why I think it's such an important conversation, because I remember the shift with the way I focus like this on my clients versus early on. Early on, I fell in the trap of the calorie game, right? Calories in versus calories out. Oh, I have this overweight client. Let's just cut their calories and get them moving more than they have ever moved in their life. And you see some movement on the scale in the right direction. They lose weight. Problem is, it's not long before their body adapts to that new caloric intake and that new amount of movement. And then now where do we go? Now, sometimes you're lucky that person was eating a crazy amount of calories. And so you can do this dropping game 2 or 3 times, but eventually what ends up happening is they're at a place where they're stalled out and they're eating so little calories and they're already working out 5 to 7 times a week that they don't know where to go. And so even the client who needs to lose 50 to 100 pounds, I still start in this process.
That's right. So calories in versus calories out is true. In other words, you have to burn more calories than you take in, or take in less calories than you burn in order to cause weight loss. Now, why is that, right? So if you're burning 2,000 calories a day and you're taking in 1,500, your body has to make up that deficit because you're burning 2,000. You're only taking in 1,500. Where's it going to get the extra 500 from? Well, ideally, it takes it from body fat, takes it from stored energy. So that's true. But here's the problem. If we're starting here and then we immediately cut from there, what happens is the body adapts and starts to meet the new caloric intake. So then we plateau and then we have to drop even more. So this might sound familiar to you. If you're somebody who's lost weight in the past, you've probably encountered this where initially you see some progress, but then you get to a point where you plateau and then you have to reduce your calories even more or move even more. And then you get the scale to move again. Then you plateau again. Then you're in this place where you're like, oh my God, I'm eating 1,400 calories a day or less. I've had people do this at 1,000 calories. And they're like, I still have 20 pounds to lose or 30 pounds to lose. I don't want to eat less than this. Or maybe you are successful cutting. And then you're at this place where like, congratulations, you lost 30 pounds. But now I'm eating 1,100 calories a day. What happens when I go up? What happens if I increase my calories up to a normal amount of food intake, something that I can manage?
Just a little bit, yeah, and you're going to feel the difference of that right away.
You're going to gain. So the first step in this is to focus on building strength in the gym. Okay, now why strength? Strength is the best objective metric that tells us that we're moving in the right metabolic direction, okay? If you get stronger with strength training, so strength training is the best way to do this. You can build some strength with other forms of exercise, but it's a much more challenging task. You're not going to build nearly as much strength. You're not going to get there nearly as quickly, and it's going to take way more work. So use strength training for this. if you use strength training and you build strength consistently, so let's say your goal is to lose 50 pounds and you go in the gym and you're like, okay, I'm going to follow this framework. I'm going to follow the S.B.C weight loss framework, and I'm going to focus on strength. So for the first 3 months, I'm not going to worry about weight loss. My goal is, can I get stronger at these core foundational exercises? Can I get stronger with my overhead press, my bench presses? Can I get stronger with my deadlifts and my rows? Can I do that over a 3-month period? By the way, if you're just getting started, you can get significantly stronger in a 3-month period. I mean, it's not unheard of for somebody to get started who struggles with, 15 body weight squats to, at the end of 3 months, doing 15 body weight squats holding 20 or 30 pound dumbbells. I mean, it's 40 to 60 pounds of strength gain. And strength correlates to muscle building. If we're moving forward in the direction with strength, we know that what's happening metabolically is positive. I'm setting myself up for a metabolism that is faster, so that when I do the cut later on, which we'll get to, by the way, the C in the S.B.C framework stands for cut. That's what we end with. When I'm finally ready to cut my calories, I'm not cutting from here, I'm cutting from here. Mm-hmm. And so what you end up with is you end up with far more runway, far more room to cut your calories. And then you're at a place where you're like, and this, by the way, this would happen all the time. When I would do this right, and we were patient, I would have clients who, at the end of their weight loss journey, however long it took, let's say 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, they were eating as much or more at the end of the weight loss journey than they were at the beginning. Now imagine that. Imagine at the end of this, because you set this up right, you're actually eating more calories than you did when you first got started.
Way more enjoyable experience too. You got more energy. You actually look forward, because you're actually getting stronger as well than the beginning when you take this approach, which actually, I mean, that's a big deterrent. If you're miserable throughout this entire process and you're getting towards that end where you're getting close to your goal, but now you're even more miserable because you've reduced everything to the degree where you're moving a lot, you're eating barely any calories, and there's really no way that you can add at this point because you're going to gain weight. That's frustrating. Another
Important point to be made for the S part of this S.B.C in the strength part is how you approach the strength training. The most common misconception for somebody who needs to lose weight or wants to lose weight is to strength train in a manner that looks like circuit training or low rest periods. They are still playing the chasing calorie burn game where it's like, oh, if I do more, or if I keep this moving, or I break a sweat, it's going to be better for my weight loss journey. No, in fact, you want to train the opposite of what that looks like. In fact, it should be these long 2 to 3 minute rest periods. And your goal should be adding weight to the bar, not moving faster throughout the workout.
We are not chasing calorie burn, or should I say, to be more specific, we're not trying to manually burn calories. What we're chasing is strength adaptations, because that results in eventually a body that burns more calories on its own, a body that has more insulin sensitivity, that uses carbohydrates and fats and proteins more effectively, that is less likely to store body fat. Here's the other part of this that is amazing, okay? It's easier to try to build strength than it is to immediately try to cut calories and lose weight. This is a fact. If I had a client that was coming in, wants to lose 50 pounds, they're working out with me twice a week, they're going to get stronger. If I train them properly, if we have proper exercises, the appropriate amount of intensity, needs to be appropriate, right? We don't over apply intensity. It's appropriate for that person's fitness level. They're going to get stronger like clockwork for the next 3 months, unless there's something majorly wrong, like terrible sleep or tons of stress or illness or something like that. They're going to get stronger. They're going to get stronger over 90 days pretty consistently. So it's actually an easier way to start as well. And then to just add to what Justin said, you feel good through this process. So although the scale at this point isn't moving down in a big way, what you do feel is you feel good. Building strength feels good, not just because your ego feels good because you're stronger in the gym, but you actually feel healthier because muscle is metabolically active. You're more mobile. You have more energy. You have more androgen receptors, right? Every time you build muscle or you add strength, you add what are called, or increase what's called, androgen receptor density. This is the receptor that testosterone attaches to. This is important for both men and women, okay? Women, testosterone is a major hormone in women as well. They just have less of it. When you have more androgen receptors, now your testosterone is just more effective. What does that feel like? Energy, motivation, better libido, better sleep. So start with getting stronger. Your goal is weight loss. Initially, I'm not even worried about the scale. I just want to get stronger. I'm going to get stronger at these traditional lifts, and I'm going to train like somebody who's trying to get stronger, not like somebody who's just trying to sweat and burn a lot of calories. Now, step 2, the B stands for build metabolic rate. Now, what does this look like? While I'm trying to get stronger, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit protein targets. Now, this is not what the RDA says you need for protein. That would be that would kind of be the bare minimum. What we're going to try and hit with protein is what the studies show to be the upper limit of effectiveness with protein intake. What that means is optimal. What that means is I'm going to eat the amount of protein that studies show builds the most muscle and contributes the most to metabolic rate. What does that look like for most people? Well, about a gram of protein per pound of target body weight. Okay, so if your weight loss goal is to eventually get to 150 pounds, well, now what I'm going to do in this phase is I'm going to aim for 150 grams of protein a day. That looks like 50 grams of protein for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner. I'm also going to slowly increase my calories. Now, this is where it gets crazy. People are like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to lose weight. Why would I increase my calories? Because I'm trying to give my body the nutrients and building blocks it needs to add this metabolic tissue to build this muscle. Now, of course, we're going to be talking about good calories here. You want to eat whole natural foods, stay away from heavily processed foods. Very easy to go crazy with overeating with processed foods. Those are engineered to make you overeat. So stick to whole natural foods, hit your protein targets, focus on strength. And now what we're doing is we are building our metabolic bank, because this is going to set us up for the eventual cut at the end of this framework. Today's program giveaway is MAPS Powerlift. If you want to enter to win, what you do is you leave a comment below this video in the first 24 hours that we drop it. You also want to subscribe to this channel, and you also want to turn on notifications. Do all of those things, and then if you win, we'll inform you in the comments section. Also, MAPS 15 minutes is half off. Head over to maps15minutes.com. Use the code MUSCLE50 for the discount. Back to the show.
So an important point to be made here is we are not trying to cut calories. We want to feed the body what it kind of wants, especially when you're going through whole foods and you're hitting protein first, because you eating maintenance or even a little bit above maintenance is going to feed your strength gains and is going to feed your metabolic rate. So it's a positive thing. Even if you were, because I get this question a lot, like, well, Adam, I thought we want to keep our calories right here. What if I accidentally eat 200? We had a call with one of our weight loss group, right? We're taking 2 groups together. We come in every Monday and we all meet and stuff like that. And this was a question where someone was concerned, like, what about when I'm at a situation where I know I need to get more protein, but then I'm about at my calorie limit? I said, listen, if we are strength training and you are building muscle and you've got good program, which I know you do because you're following ours, and you overeat 100, 200 calories because you're going after your protein target, and in order to get that, you have to end up consuming maybe 100 or 200 more your goal. That is a good thing. Those additional calories will get partitioned over to building muscle, building good tissue, which will help the metabolic rate. And so don't get caught up in the game of trying to cut calories at this point yet. Right now, I want to keep you maintained, satisfied, hitting macro targets. That's what's going to feed the metabolism. That's what's going to feed the strength.
Right. Now, step 1, getting stronger, relatively easy. Go to the gym, strength training, follow a good program. Step 2, build your metabolic rate, hit your protein targets, eat whole natural foods. A little harder. This is a little harder. I know someone listening right now is like, oh, I got to lose weight, but you're telling me to eat more? That's going to be easy. Not when you're really trying to hit those protein targets. It's actually quite difficult. Like a 50 gram, by the way, 150 pounds would be what a lot of women, I would say, average height, good fitness would probably want to aim for, around 150 or so, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. 150 grams, that's a 50 gram of protein breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Do you know what a 50 gram protein breakfast looks like? How many eggs does it take?
It's more than you think.
To eat, what is that? That's like eight whole eggs or something like that?
Seven would be 49.
Seven whole eggs. Yeah. So most people
do 2. Mm-hmm.
Most people will be like, oh, I have a high protein breakfast. I eat 2 scrambled eggs. Well, congratulations, that's 12 grams. Yeah. We have almost 40 grams of protein to go after. So it's actually not as easy as you think. And by the way, again, I'm going to address the whole fear around I'm going to eat so much food. This is going to make me gain tons of weight. If you're hitting those protein targets and you're eating it first and you're eating whole natural foods, the calories control themselves. Okay? The calories do control themselves. It's harder than you think. It is not easy to really overeat when you're hitting those protein targets and you're eating whole natural foods. And there's two reasons for this. One, protein is incredibly satiating. It really does, especially in the first year of eating. Now, after that, this maybe wears off a little bit. There's some data that suggests that. I would still debate that. But for the first year at least, the data shows quite clearly, it makes you eat less. It really does control your appetite. And that's a good thing for us later on. Number two, with the whole natural foods, this also helps control calories because heavily processed foods that come in a wrapper or a box, because of the way they're engineered to be hyper palatable. You'll overeat them very easily. And the studies on these are the best. The best diet studies I've ever seen are ones where they compare processed food diets to whole natural food diets. These are actually controlled studies, which are very rare when it comes to nutrition. They'll take groups of people, put them in 2 rooms. They'll match the macros, proteins, fats, carbs, very similar in the foods in both rooms. And then they'll just tell them to eat until you're satisfied. And then they'll take those groups and switch rooms. So they'll actually take the same group that was here, move them in that room and vice versa and watch. And processed foods will make you eat about 600 more calories a day. 600 more calories a day with the same satiety. In other words, whole natural foods and high protein will actually help control the calories, so we don't have to worry about it so much. What we're trying to do here, though, is build that muscle to set us up for the final piece of this, which is cut. At this point, once you feel like your calories are up, you're hitting a protein, I'm a lot stronger in the gym, I feel really good. Now I'm going to cut my calories, but now what's going to happen is I'm going to cut my calories from a higher place. Mm-hmm. Now, instead of cutting from 2,000 calories, which is where I was before, or less, now I'm cutting from 2,500 calories, 2,800 calories. Well, now I can go down to a manageable number, a number that is something that I can maintain. And then guess what happens? Fat loss. Yep. Incredible fat loss when you do it this way. The build part, oftentimes you'll hear referred to in the coaching space as a reverse diet because it's a slowly increasing the calories. It's gotten very popular. This originated in the competing space. But now a lot of people are using it for everyday people because it's such a successful way of setting people up for long-term success with fat loss. And again, the idea is this. Don't think about how much weight can I lose, because the weight loss part, again, you look at the data, that's actually not the hard part. It's how can I set this up so at the end of this, I'm at a place where I can maintain it. So if at the end of this, I'm running on the treadmill 6 days a week and I'm eating 1,200 calories, is that something you can maintain? Probably not. Not unless you absolutely love eating nothing and running all the time.
Now, was the original intent of the reverse diet was really to pull somebody back out of that situation where they were so low calorie and so much activity that they had nowhere to go and they needed to rebuild everything. So to almost do that process from the very beginning is what is ideally the way to
100%.
So how do I know when it is time for me to transition to the cut? My favorite thing to tell a client is when the strength gains start to slow down and or I am at a place where I can't eat any more food. I want to keep increasing my client who needs to lose whatever said pounds, doesn't matter if it's 5 or 100. I want to keep slowly increasing calories and getting strong so long as we are continuing to see strength gains come on strong and they still have room that, can you eat 200 more calories? Could you eat 200 more calories? And they keep saying like, yeah, I could do that. Oh yeah, I could do it. To eventually they go, Adam,
I'm having trouble hitting this.
I'm having a real hard time hitting the 3,800 calories. It's just so much food. And they start telling me things like, it's too much. I don't like it. It's a lot.
Stretching you.
Now it's a great time. Okay, now let's bring you back down to 3,200 and watch what happens. Yeah. And now we're at a calorie intake that is significantly higher than anywhere you started at, and your body weight is just dropping. It's such a good place to be when you get there, and how great it feels to have reached your goal and be at a higher calorie intake than when you started and you were overweight. That's how you sustain long-term weight loss, is because of that right there. And the reason why everybody fails and everyone puts the weight back on is because the way, even if they had success, the way they got there was just by the moving more, cutting more game. And they're at a place where they're 7 days a week and eating hardly any food, and it's impossible to sustain that long term.
Yeah. Now there's a common myth where when you compare what we're saying to the traditional, I'm going to just start eating way less and start moving a lot more method, what you'll often hear people say is, well, this one takes longer, right? The right way to do it, the S.B.C weight loss framework takes longer but it's going to be more effective. The other way works faster, but it's less effective. That's actually not true. The truth is one of them works and one of them doesn't, okay? The quote unquote faster way that people will say is actually the one that doesn't work. It's the one that results in over 90% of the people who follow it gaining the weight back. So remember this, regardless of how much weight you lose, if you gain it back, you fail. It didn't work. It's a fail. So you can't go back to, because maybe you've done this in the past. In fact, the odds are if you're watching this and this is resonating, you have done this in the past. And the tendency is to look back and go, it worked last time. I'm just going to do what I did last time. It didn't work. It didn't work because you gained it back. So don't do it again. Losing it and gaining it back is a fail. This time, the goal is, can I lose it? Can I keep it off? Can I feel good? Is it sustainable? Will I feel strong? Will I be in a place where it's like, and look, this was very normal. We would have clients follow this and they trusted us. Here's the thing too. You have to trust this process because it does feel like, okay, I'm building strength. I feel good. Scale's not going down. I'm kind of trusting the process. So as a good trainer, you would get your clients to really trust you through this process. Man, at the end of it, this is what they would say. They would always say this. They'd say, this is really weird. I can't believe I'm losing weight, eating as much food as I'm eating. This doesn't make sense. I love that. I love hearing that this doesn't make sense. This has never felt this way before. This feels too easy. What's going on here? The truth is you're working with your body, not against it.
Sometimes you actually see this process happen while they're in the process of
I was just gonna say
adding calories and focus on strength, which is so fun and awesome to be able to do this. It doesn't always happen with some clients as they're adding food and they're going, oh my God, this is more food than I'm used to eating. And they're strength training.
They see weight loss.
They see weight loss. Yeah. I mean, and normally what that is that they're just in that beautiful Goldilocks zone where they are slowly building muscle, but they're also burning body fat. And that's what we're looking for. And that's how you have long-term success.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right. So I got a cool study for you guys on dementia. This was a study done on women. And I'm going to read this to you, this is remarkable. So dementia, cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, that whole category, like that's a big consideration as people get older. I don't know what the exact numbers are, Doug. Maybe you can look up the percentage of people that will suffer from dementia, Alzheimer's, and cognitive decline as they get older. It's a significant percentage.
Has it increased over the last decade?
It's gotten worse. Yes. It's gotten, and it's really a terrible chronic issue, right? I would much rather have something physical that it doesn't affect my mental capacity.
Like a 1 in 5 or a 1 in 7?
It's pretty high, and I'd like to see those numbers from Doug. But anyway, it's getting worse. It's like a big deal. Alzheimer's in particular, but if you put just dementia and cognitive decline in there, it's like a pretty strong percentage. Well, anyway, a lot of people are like, well, what do I do to prevent this? Because I don't want to go through this. What are the ways to safeguard myself against this in the future? What does it say? 1
in 3.
In 3.
Wow.
Age 85 or older.
One in 3. So 33%. In fact, a significant lifetime risk of dementia after 55 is estimated to be around 42%, according to a twin.
I didn't know it was that high.
So between 33 to 42%. So if you're blessed to live, past the age of 75 or 80, the odds that you're going to have some real problems cognitively are pretty high, and it's scary. This is scary for a lot of people, right? Because then you really have to depend on people and the whole deal.
Is the number one way to counter this? Is it muscle?
Well, it's exercise. But yes.
Oh, exercise. It's not. I thought muscle actually played a massive
role.
role.
Exercise preserves muscle, and if you were to do a straight correlate, it would be strength. But check out the study. So there was a decade-long Swedish study. So it's a 10-year study. Revealed a powerful link between physical fitness and brain health in women. Those who were highly fit in midlife were 90% less likely to develop dementia later on. Wow. 90%. 5% of the fittest participants had a diagnosis of cognitive decline compared to 32% among less active peers.
Wow.
5%. That's almost zero. So if you stay fit as you get older, your odds of cognitive decline are 5%.
So that,
according to that study,
so
which
that
is almost zero.
That is just saying fit. It would be really interesting for you to tease out those 90% and see if there's an even better response from people that focus on strength training besides just cardio and staying lean or something.
The organ, if you were to take like organs or tissues in the body that were correlated to brain health from a cognitive perspective, it's muscle. So it's like it's all, and they test this with strength. They test this with grip strength tests, which is just the core, just showing overall strength, right? It's nothing magical about the grip strength. It's an easy way to test someone's overall strength, but it's strength. You maintain good strength, the odds that you're going to have this kind of cognitive decline or dementia it's not just lower; it's significantly lower. 5% is almost nothing, especially when you compare it to 33%. Yeah, there was a study out of Australia that showed that strength training was one of the only forms of exercise to halt the progression of the beta amyloid plaques in the brain. We don't think the beta amyloid plaques cause Alzheimer's.
They changed kind of their opinion of that.
Yeah,
right?
but we know that there's something there.
Yeah.
We know that there's something there because people with Alzheimer's have more of these plaques.
Yeah, you see it.
And so what they saw with this group was that the people who strength trained, it stopped the progression, and it actually started to trend going backwards, which is one of the first times we've ever seen that going in an opposite direction without some kind of crazy,
was
medical
insulin
intervention.
resistant? Was that?
Yes.
Yeah, that had to be a big factor in there.
Yeah. When your muscles are so insulin sensitive that when they're strong and healthy, you maintain good insulin sensitivity, which means your body utilizes energy very well. So people with dementia, you'll see a reduction in their cognitive decline symptoms if you switch them to like ketones.
Yeah.
Because now their body doesn't have to use glucose, or the brain doesn't have to use glucose. It's not a cure. It's just kind of a clue that and a lot of researchers will call dementia type 3 diabetes. It's actually insulin resistance of the brain or the inability of the brain to utilize that energy. So stay fit. You stay fit. A fit body results in a fit brain.
That just gives you more motivation to
Isn't that
stay
awesome?
fit as long as you can.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. What about things, because they've done stuff too, like on like crossword puzzles and brain type exercises. Like I think obviously strength training does the most, because I feel like
very small.
It is very small.
Very small.
Like neural feedback.
Oh, I thought it was still pretty good.
There's definitely something,
right?
But it's not because you're exercising the brain. But you know what exercises the brain more than
Exercise.
than crossword puzzles?
I mean, that makes sense. It makes sense. It's like exercising, like doing crossword puzzles is great, but you get all those benefits and more by just strength training.
Yeah.
Because it lights up the brain twice as much.
I mean, every time you contract a muscle, the brain has to control that. And then, of course, the insulin sensitizing effects of having these strong muscles. And if you add up the other factors to consider as you get older, like mobility issues is a big deal, by the way. As you get older.
And balance.
Well, balance is a loss of strength.
Yeah.
So mobility issues. You fall when you're older. That's a big deal. It causes lots of, especially if you get hurt to the point where you have to get hospitalized.
Yeah.
And then bone loss, like all those things are directly combated with exercise, strength training in particular. And the beauty of this is that you don't need to do a lot of strength training.
Yeah.
1 or 2 days a week are plenty for the average person. So you could be active every day, but when you're like, okay, what structured form of exercise should I do that's going to like give me some really good longevity effects? Strength training. Now, the funny thing about this is it was the whole stereotype of the dumb jock. Like you'd see this in movies, like the muscular person is kind of dumb.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
It's like, all the jocks were just picking on everybody and dumb as rocks.
No, it actually helps your brain quite a bit.
Speaking of dumb jocks, how's
take
your
that,
workouts
nerds.
going right now?
You're talking to me. I'm a dumb jock now. They're going okay.
How's your series? How's your series going right now?
It's going good. I did the workout with Johnny, with Johnny Sebastian the other day. It was really fun working out with a pro bodybuilder. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I am going to meet with Dennis Roberts, who's a top level jiu-jitsu fighter, MMA fighter. He's struggled with fitness in a different way. So mine was like to, feel capable, look a certain way. His was like to perform.
Yeah.
And he sacrificed his body like crazy, going through different surgeries and stuff. So I know he's had that struggle too. So I'm going to talk with him. I'm going to try meeting with John Deloney. Yeah. I know he's also struggled with fitness and what that means for him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk with him. I think I'm going to try and get Father Steve on. You guys remember Father Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he's got, obviously he's a priest, so he's got great faith, but he's also like a bodybuilder. So I want to ask him, like, how does he do this in the right way to where you don't get obsessed about how you look and stuff like that. So
that'll be interesting. I believe when this goes live, when this is live,
it'll be up.
This series is up and started, right?
It should be. It should be. I think one of the next ones I'm going to film, there might be one in a field somewhere. where I'm
In
going
a
to do
field?
some, yeah, like some agility
Like in
stuff.
like a cornfield.
No, like a grass
The
field.
hills are alive. You're gonna spin around and have like a drone.
Get dizzy and fall.
Yeah.
No, I'll do. I might do some. I might embarrass the heck out of myself, Justin. You're going to appreciate this.
Run? Can I be there?
Maybe
for this?
something like that.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I know.
Boy, you are really.
Oh my god.
You are
That's the idea, dude. The idea
I
is
see that. I'm proud of you. Wow,
Yes.
that's like
Yeah.
you know.
One of them I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do a garage gym workout. I think I'll invite Dylan to my house and work out in my garage, which is, this is just memories working out with my home gym equipment. I got my old Franco Colombo poster in there. Have you guys seen that?
Yes.
That poster
Yeah,
that's
I have.
signed.
One time, yes.
I've had that poster for
I didn't realize it was
20
signed.
something years.
I didn't know it was signed.
yeah.
Oh, I knew you had it, but I didn't realize it was signed.
Yeah. Do you know how strong that guy was?
so strong.
His deadlift was crazy.
I just remember watching him lift the car. It was like a VW Bug or something, and he just
No,
like,
it was.
and
It's in
moved
Italy. It was a Fiat, but it wasn't even a
Fiat.
small Fiat. It was like a big Fiat.
Yeah, it was like a big
four seater.
car. Yeah,
He was 180
he's a
pounds.
beast.
180 pounds when he was deadlifting over 700
He's a
pounds.
small guy, but like
600.
super jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I watched this interview with Arnold because that was his workout partner. And Arnold was just like, what was he saying about him? He's like, he was a gorilla. It didn't make any sense. He's like, he would hang upside down from his toes. You ever seen anybody, he put his feet on the bar and he would hang upside down from just his toes.
I mean, literally, his only reason for not being as dominant as he was because he was small.
He was a little guy.
Yeah, but when you look at his symmetry and his muscle size, it's just that you put Arnold next to him, and it's just not fair.
That's the picture right there. That's the picture I have with the, what is that, a Great Dane next to him? It must be a Great
Yeah, it
Dane.
looks like that.
Yeah. Just doing just ungodly weight.
That's awesome.
I know, it's just so cool.
know,
Yeah.
he's-
He still
he's a
has,
stud.
in my opinion, in bodybuilding, in terms of proportion and just, like stand out. His lat spread to me, especially when you consider his size, the most impressive.
you know.
Have you ever seen his lat spread,
You know who I
I
think
have.
is.
It's a funny. The irony is like the golden era. That's the only time I ever paid attention to bodybuilding.
Was Franco?
Yeah, him, Arnold, all those guys.
I think you know who I think, and they still look amazing. When was the last time you looked at Frank Zane?
Oh, he looks great.
Bro, Frank Zane. Look up Frank Zane right now. Like he's
He's
still,
in his 80s, right?
Yes, and he looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like, of all the guys, he had the most natural, balanced, healthy looking physique to me, even back then. And he has maintained that look. Find a picture of him where he's at right now. Is that him right there? Yeah,
No, that's not now, but that's when he was in his 70s. That picture right there.
Dang,
Find a recent picture. I've seen videos of him recently, and he still looks really good.
You know what's funny about these old bodybuilders that still look and move amazing? They all trained in a similar way. They all trained very smart.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go like crazy. I mean, we're talking about how strong Franco was, but Frank Zane was always very controlled. He was always very careful. Technique was very good. And that gives you longevity. You got the guys that go nuts with.
Look, I'm 82.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at that, bro. Look at that at 82.
I know.
Yeah, the
That
guys
just-
that went nuts are like in wheelchairs now. It's kind of sad.
torn muscles and slip disc and just lots of.
That's so impressive to me. I don't know if I've seen an 82-year-old that looks that good.
You know what? This reminds me. You know what I love about fitness is that it's one of the physical pursuits where the older you are, the more respect you get.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're an old,
You know how much harder it is.
you're an old person in the gym and you're like fit, everybody in there's like you're just respected in the gym. It's
Well,
so
and just
awesome.
the level
Unless
of
you live on TikTok.
consistency to have done that, and the discipline to just take care of yourself that way. Although I will say, and I've said it many times lately on the podcast, that when you've laid such a solid foundation like this, the amount of stimulus and effort
to keep it is little.
is very, very little. I mean, so for the young lifter, I mean, that's the thing to look really forward to, in my opinion, is working hard when you're young and building a good solid base.
Yeah.
Because then
Go hard early.
Yeah. Then going forward,
Yeah.
the maintaining part of that is so much easier than what it was when you first started.
It's so amazing.
that's crazy.
I love it. I got some studies on Methylene Blue for you guys. So people might not know we're working with a company that sells a Methylene Blue product, it's a really remarkable.
What is it? Troscriptions?
Yes,
Troscriptions,
Troscriptions is the
yeah.
name of the company. So you can either use them sublingually or you could just swallow them. Sublingually, you'll obviously hit you much faster.
But then your mouth turns blue.
Yeah, then you got a blue mouth. So, so check out the studies on this that I found. These are pretty interesting studies for cognitive effects. There was a review that summarized long-term Methylene Blue use, noting sustained improvements in memory and cognitive processing with low-dose administration. So it's not like a temporary benefit. There seems to be this long-term cognitive.
Well, it lasts, huh?
Sal, what's the origin? Like, what were we
Dude,
using?
that's
it?
it's old.
I know it's been around, and I think
it was a dye.
And what
It's
is
a
it?
dye.
And why did it all of a sudden
Somebody in
take
the
off
factory,
again?
in a blue jean factory.
We always
just
talk about how funny and kind of comical this is. That a lot of this stuff has been around forever, and then it gets popular again. Like, why is it trending so hard this last, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, and it's been around forever?
People have discovered it for cognitive benefit, but it was a medicine for a long time. So maybe, Doug, you could look up.
1876.
It was
wow.
first synthesized then.
What?
Yeah. And it was used, it was a dye for a textile industry. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Funny. Sounds like you shouldn't take it.
I mean, obviously it's for health.
But it's been around for a long time. It was used anti-malaria and an antibiotic
Oh, wow.
before chloroquine was developed. And in fact, Doug, you can look up the medical uses for methylene blue. I think they still use it for certain things right now. Like they'll give you IV of methylene blue for certain.
Really?
Was it methylene blue in combination with red light therapy? It really enhanced the mitochondria
Yeah.
further.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd heard
I
the
didn't know
combo
that.
that was powerful.
Yeah, what is it used there, Doug? For what's that term right
It's
there? I can't
FDA
read that.
approved.
Yeah, I don't know if I can
treating-
pronounce it.
What is that?
Methylmoglobinemia.
So it's a condition where the iron in hemoglobin is oxidized. So they'll give you that for that, and then some off-label.
Okay, wait a
uses.
second. So it says right here, go back up, reducing the ability to carry oxygen. So do you feel like a performance and stamina boost when you're on it?
Methylene blue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
do
how do
get-
you feel when you take it?
Well, I mean, I feel the cognitive side of it. I feel it reminds me of like kind of the nicotine thing.
Yeah.
It gives me that kind of sharp cognitive, a little bit of energy, but I haven't really used it with the intent of going to train. I've used it for podcast when we were podcasting. Like if it's near me and I have an option to take it, I'll take it like that. What I haven't done though is that. And so have you used it for performance in your lifting?
I have not used it for lifting. I use it for podcasting.
So
If I do use it, it's for podcasting.
Be interesting to use it for that reason.
Usually cognitive boosting nootropic type supplements are beneficial for strength
Well,
training.
it says it helps
yeah.
carry, I mean, at least to me.
Increases
help-
ATP.
If it helps carry oxygen in the blood, I would think that it would improve pumps. Is that a fair
That's
leap?
a good question. I
Is that
don't
a fair
know.
leap?
I don't know. It's a good question. I do know that it'll light up certain tumors, and so they'll use it sometimes to find tumors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they'll use it as an antimicrobial, anti-parasitic. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And people have been using it for a very, very long
So
time.
maybe it's just because the whole, cognitive supplements of that category
Totally.
has boosted. So now we're fine. Like obviously nicotine's been around forever,
Yeah.
but now it's being used that way.
That market's grown a
Methylene
lot.
blue has been around for a long time, but now it's being used that way. So what would you say, top 5, cognitive supplements?
Oh boy.
Would you put, obviously methylene blue and nicotine you would put in there.
Caffeine.
Caffeine.
would be at the top. Then you would go nicotine's up there, methylene blue's up there, alpha GPC, it's a form of choline. If you need that would probably be up there.
Ketone
I mean,
IQ?
Ketones. Ketones are
We
great.
talk about peptides in there.
Peptides are interesting. Yeah, peptides are great. Methylene blue will work for most people though. Most people will take it and they'll notice.
So you just did 5 right there.
Yeah.
You named probably what you would say that is probably top 5 those things.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
I got a study for Justin and Doug
Oh.
that I think Adam and I can explain. We'll be able to break this down for
This is
you.
a firstborn thing.
No, it's
Yeah, it must be.
good job.
Let me mansplain this to you guys.
No, good job. Okay, so new study comes out that, let me pull it up so I can read it to you.
Firstborns are smarter.
Younger, so
Oh, is
studies-
it really related to
Fake
that?
news,
Oh, great
dude.
call, great call,
fake
Justin.
news.
Great
So
call.
studies show that older siblings tend to have a higher IQ. I've told you guys this. That's not the one I'm going to bring up.
This is well established.
I could
Well established. Plenty of
deconstruct that.
examples we have, but keep
Doesn't
going.
mean it's always true, you
Yeah,
guys.
it's
It's just
fine.
generally
It's fine.
speaking.
I think my brother was smarter than me, but I could definitely get dominated. So.
Well, here's
you
what
go.
this other study shows. But again, I think Adam and I'm gonna wait because I know we'll be able to explain this. So I got one for you guys, right? Because
Okay.
so older siblings smarter. Check this out. Younger siblings are 2.5 times more likely to become elite athletes.
Oh wow, because we beat the shit out of them growing up.
That is absolutely true.
We put them in training, bro.
You're training us.
You owe your accolades to us.
Yeah, dude. You get beat up by your older brothers. Man, we get
Trial
you
by
guys,
fire.
we
Yeah.
get you guys just fit and strong.
I mean,
man.
isn't it? I mean, you all have, or the two of you have multiple kids, so you've seen this firsthand. It's always the younger one just accelerates
Yeah.
so much faster, right?
Just the tenacity. Yeah.
Has it not? It's had to been that way, right? For you, for your all four of yours, you've seen that. And I'm sure you've seen it for your two boys.
Well, you know what it is.
I see it in my friends' kids. It's just like that. It doesn't matter if it's a baby girl, baby boy. It doesn't matter. The baby is like doing stuff way early and fast.
You know what it is? They see that, you know, when you're an oldest and you're going to go try new things that require kinesthetic ability, like, you know, going across the monkey bars, jumping, you know, climbing up the slide or going down backwards or whatever. It's scary. It's scary. You're the first one and you're kind of timid and you're like, okay, should I? Now, of course, there's a variance between kids. But when you're the younger sibling, they have a tendency to follow the older sibling. So, you know, you have a 2-year-old watching their 4-year-old sibling do the monkey bars. Immediately, they want to go try it. Whereas it might have taken my 4-year-old till they were 3.5 to even try it. So they develop those kinesthetic abilities earlier.
It's so true. An example of watching this front row seat last weekend for me. So what I've had to learn this patience with my son and both Katrina and I, because I think I've shared with you guys before. Like I remember this as a kid of like just, you know, on my terms. I could never get persuaded to do it. And so we've learned to we want him to try certain things. And, you know, again, it's us who wants to. If he doesn't want to, we've learned to be like, okay, you know, in time you will, or whatever. Example of that is my son is, you know, finally confident to swim around the pool in his water wings, but he's not interested in taking him off and learning how to swim right now. He's just, no, I'm cool, Dad. You know, don't want to. And I haven't even got him to jump off the side of the pool. He just a fear of sinking down and he'll get on the little step and he'll like kind of like flop in, but he's not jumping off the side. Well, and I've tried, come on, jump in, Dad, he'll catch you. You don't have to do all the things. Nah, I'm cool, Dad, right? Doesn't want to do it. So, okay, whatever. Well, this last weekend, we had all the kids over and stuff like that at the house. And we've got kids that are even younger than him. And a couple of the younger girls and younger boys are like bombing into the pool, you know, full on, sprint and then fall. And you see him just watching it.
Yeah.
And then gets up over.
So you're watching this.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying anything. I'm just kind of sitting in the pool doing my thing. I'm not going to say anything. And I just see him walk up, go over. And the first one was just like, he jumps in on his own, and then he gets back out, and then he's Daddy, and he's telling me, and he must have did it 50 times nonstop. I had to watch him all day do this thing.
That's so great.
It is. It's reassuring for Katrina and I, because I know that was an area where we have to be patient. Just be like, listen, he doesn't have that kid in front of him all the time doing that, so it's him exploring everything on his own. It's not like he's like if he doesn't jump in the pool or swim under the water or do this thing by a certain age, something's gonna go wrong. It's like, just let him do it. And this has continued to happen for us where, you know, he all of a sudden one day decides he wants to do that thing, and now he's doing it. And so it's funny that I've had to learn that over and over. It really I struggled with it when he was young. And I don't know if that's a parent thing. I don't know if it's just a me thing of that, you know, wanting your kid to hit certain milestones by certain, you know, ages. And if they don't, you start like, oh God,
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? And why is he not this? And then you go down the rabbit hole. Oh man, he's going to be like this, and this is going to happen.
You know what the challenge is because you know the capability.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Yeah.
And so you just want to like get them to know like you can do it.
Yeah.
And the tendency for dads, I don't know about you guys, but my tendency is to like throw them in the fire.
Yeah, sink or swim.
Yeah, like let's go.
So
then
that's
you traumatize them.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
very
then you
old school way of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I was thrown in the deep end. It was like I didn't want to. I was like, so I don't remember. It was my uncle.
no
I think it was my uncle. I think my uncle literally just grabbed me and like threw me in the middle of the deep end. And I remember screaming, crying, and then I learned how to
How's your
swim.
relationship with your uncle now?
Oh no.
Right. It's all connected. Yeah, it's all connected. No, totally. That's so funny. You know, did you guys today I have day in the life. Did you? I don't know if you guys are watching it right now or not, but I started the morning off, and I was showing off the Jolie shower head that we were just talking about the other day in my shower. But while I was doing that, I had my Ray-Ban glasses on, and I'm showing it. I picked up on something, and did you guys see my shower? Did you guys
No.
Okay, so I showed our shower.
Yeah.
And there's literally, we have this whole thing, like a seat area in the shower. And then we have these 2 areas where you can put shampoo. And this whole seat area is full of, I don't know, 15 or 20 bottles and jugs and
I'm going to guess
tubes.
that they're not yours.
And then there's another one that's this. And then on the second step there's a Caldera bar of soap.
That's yours.
And it's the only thing in the entire
The only item that's
the only
attached to
item you have to watch the video. That's the only item in this shower. There must be 30 things or more in our shower of stuff. And I'm like, we've been together for 15 years now. And I always ask, I'm like, what could all of this be for? Like you can only have so many possible
They
things.
get marketed to a
Yes.
lot. They get marketed to a lot with just hair.
But I mean,
care,
I get shampoo. I get conditioner.
So there's 2 things.
I get, yaya stuff, you know what I'm saying? I get, Summer's Eve,
Yaya.
yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get,
That's not good for you, I
I
thought.
get, what's the other one that's in there that I get that's like, okay, so there's the, private part stuff. I get the conditioner,
You have to have
the
separate
shampoo,
private part stuff?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
I don't know. I use the same.
Yeah, well, I know. Well, our stuff's all.
I just use
external.
my wife's shampoo
you
for
have some internal. They have some internal stuff, so they get marketed to a more protective soap. That's for that. Okay. So, but then what are the other 27 bottles for?
I don't know. Dude. I know my wife steals my Caldera Lab serum. She loves it. She
There's some
takes
secret
it.
thing.
I have to bring home 2 because otherwise mine's gone.
Oh,
She
yeah.
loves it so much. I looked at the men's skincare market, by the way, the growth of it. You guys want to guess how much it's grown from 2018 to what it's going to project to be at in 2027?
Ooh, I'll take a guess. Has it doubled?
Doubled.
Wow. Yeah.
Doubled.
It feels like it.
Wow.
Doubled.
I mean, we're perfect examples of that. I would have never.
I didn't use
guessed.
nothing
I would
on
have
my
never
face.
guessed in my life that I would have skincare.
Bro, I washed my face with dish soap if I ever washed it.
Yeah.
I didn't ever use nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
you
as
know
far
what?
as I go.
For me, aside from how
Caldera
good
Lab now
dandruff.
every day.
If I have
aside from
dandruff,
how
I'm like,
good
oh,
it
no.
feels, aside from what I like with my psoriasis, aside from that, the true probably thing is that you've probably, and I have, received compliments for it.
Yeah.
And that's all it took for me was like applying it a couple
Well, I
times.
just see a difference.
Yeah,
See
oh,
my
yeah.
face, yeah.
You see it, and then you hear someone else go, "Man, your skin looks really good or really healthy." You're like, "Oh, damn, that stuff does work." I guess I'm going to do that.
I use it for like all these unconventional things though. Like because I get so dry skin, it's not usually my face, it's like my heels and my feet or whatever. And I'm just like putting
I do too.
Caldera.
Really?
Like, yeah, bro.
I use it on all my psoriasis spots, on my shins, on my head.
It's way better
have
than,
all
like,
these- and
lotion.
it feels so much better than that. It keeps the itching down.
Yeah.
It keeps it where it's all oiled up, and so it doesn't dry out. I don't
I used
know.
to just deal with
I
it.
don't
I
know
was just
why
like,
they
ow.
don't actually market it to like people that have eczema and psoriasis.
That's a medical condition. So you can't market unless you have, unless it's approved to treat medical conditions. You can't say.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's just regulation. I mean, that's not a bad thing, dude. Trust me. If you could,
Yeah, but you don't need.
you can sell anything.
You don't
for
need.
any
To,
medical-
you don't need to market it as it cures it and say it something like that. Like, why couldn't you market it as like that? It helps keep dry. You know, like I feel like
You can say that, but once you start talking about what's classified as a medical condition, you can get yourself into trouble. Which I understand. Could you guys imagine what that would be like?
Yeah, but
Well,
you
yeah,
know
'cause
what's
of the
Sal? You know
claims.
what's lame about that is that I've done all the medical stuff that's been prescribed to me that are steroids and these creams that have a steroid in it that's supposed to tamp down, and so they
Yeah.
can prove that in their studies, and it's been approved medically. But the Caldera has been better for me.
I know.
So it's like so lame that
Well, they had a study that showed Caldera Lab showed it reduced acne. It's an oil. When's the last time you thought of putting an oil?
Nobody would think that.
No, and they actually showed a reduction in acne from it because it balances out the microbiome of the face.
Doug just pulled that up. It's actually a 68% increase in male skin.
In a 2-year period.
And that's in 2 years. I did 2018, I think I said, to 2027 projected.
Guys just didn't give a fuck.
Well, no, it didn't.
For a long time.
Yeah,
and
no.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is
Some
better.
things we've adopted are good.
Yeah.
You know, some
Do you guys remember the shampoo? What was that shampoo? It was
Plus. Plus.
Yeah.
You
It was-
put all of it in one.
shampoo and hair and conditioner in one.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah, combine everything. That's,
Of course.
That's
That
the
was
only
totally
way to market
marketed
it to
to
me
men right there.
Yeah.
Did you ever use conditioner when you used to have hair? Did you have long hair at some point?
Yeah, I had long hair.
Did you
I have used conditioner, but I never did it consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your hair curly?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like mine.
Yeah.
Like wavy or curly?
Very curly.
Oh.
Yeah. When I was long.
You had luxurious.
Yeah, I have some
locks.
I'll pull some old. I guess you guys have never seen. Justin's probably seen.
I've seen you with hair.
Yeah, he's seen me with long curly hair before. I had it grown out all the way.
Dude, I had mine down to here at one point.
all wavy.
There's this picture. My family loves to circulate it. I should say my cousins. Whenever we're teasing each other, and I don't remember where I was. I was at some wedding. This was also in the middle of. I used to do these aggressive bulks back in the day where I'd get my body weight up to like 235 pounds, and it was aggressive. It wasn't like you could see I was 235 on my face.
You see it in your face.
Oh yeah. And so I had my long curly, I don't have enough hair to do this anymore, but long curly Italian hair, 230. I just look like I look like I should be on a romance novel for not for women though. That's how I look from. So they love saying that to me and teasing me about that. So
great.
I know it's
That's great.
It's pretty funny. Anyway, Justin, I want to hear about the Caltrans party.
Oh,
I don't want to say all of it together.
Is it like Caltrans,
it's misleading title.
The guys that fix our roads.
Yeah.
So it was a stripper party.
Yeah.
What happened here?
This is it. Yeah. This is local news. I guess they threw some party for, I don't know if it was for somebody's birthday or if this was like a company party, but they decided to bring strippers to the party, which it was like, I guess there was 6 out of 10 people that they fired immediately for this.
Who thinks that's a good idea?
I don't know.
Every young man.
Like,
young
how
20.
stupid are you?
You don't think you have an HR department? It reminds me of during COVID, we're at the Cats bar where they had they had a whole a bunch of executives from Silicon Valley would all go in there, and then they all kind of pulled in and had a whole little strip club thing set up. Like it was a speakeasy right there on my commute home, and I had no idea. Yeah. And
Did they get busted for it?
Yeah.
That place had good barbecue.
They did.
They did. They still do, actually.
Yeah.
I think they have new ownership that's actually got it going again. Have you been there in a while?
I haven't been there in a long time.
We ate there not that long. It's been a while now, but it wasn't that long ago with new ownership.
Who was it in here that got the old the 70-something-year-old stripper? Oh, was that you for your birthday?
Yeah.
When you were
That was a Baker.
I was there for that, dude.
You were there on that
I
hike?
died.
Bro,
Yes.
I'll never forget that.
How old were you?
I was 25.
And he hired a 70-something-year-old.
So he claims
Like she didn't even have a.
So he
It
I don't know if I ever told this part of the story on the
was
podcast.
fantastic.
But he tells the story that he actually didn't do it that way intentionally. So he actually just like looked up on like the yellow pages or whatever back then.
So you just clicked,
And he actually thought like a legit stripper was going to, like he was trying to just embarrass me at work, like have a stripper come.
You got the best value one. Oh, look at this price.
Well,
you got 50% off.
Got a deal on this one.
He literally he swears, he goes, bro, he goes, it's 100 times better that you got what you got. But I did not do that intentionally. I literally just was going to embarrass you, have a stripper show up to work and then dance in your lap. And so I'll never forget, she pulls up in this like beat up like 1980s Mitsubishi like little pickup truck. I mean, dense. No, bro, this is, I swear to God, there's no exaggeration. There's no exaggeration. I saw her coming in. I saw because she stood out. Like she had a sparkly dress. Yeah. She gets out of the truck. She's smoking and she throws a cigarette down, smashes the cigarette, grabs her little boom box and comes and fixes her dress and starts high heel walking towards it. And I'm like looking like, what in the hell is coming this way? I had no idea. She comes right to the front desk. I'm like sitting over at my desk like, who is this?
They just took her from some riverboat
Adam
casino,
Schaefer, Adam to the front desk. Do you have a guest here? And I'm like, me? No way. Come walking up and she's just like, are you Adam? I'm like, yeah. She's like, come, can you sit down? And then she has me sit down. She puts a little boom box on my desk, hits play. Happy birthday.
With their cigarette voice.
Oh, bro. Super cigarette deep voice, dude. Oh my God.
That's so awesome.
So embarrassing. Call my buddy, cussed him out.
So
and then I told him and he's like, no way. He's like, no way. I said, swear to God, bro, she must have been 70.
He looked at her ad and it was probably like, winner of this many awards, but he forgot to see when she won those awards.
Yeah.
It was like 1925.
He sent me a picture of the ad and the ad doesn't say anything, describe her at all. It just says like strippergram, hire strippergram for a birthday. And so.
But that's so much better.
Oh, he's like, oh my God, I couldn't have planned that to be better. And so super embarrassing.
Yeah, good time. Probiotics have profound health benefits. They're good for gut health, inflammation, brain health. They even have been shown to improve athletic performance. But which one should you get? Go with the Daily Symbiotic from Seed. Seed is the world's best probiotic, hands down, world-leading researchers. Nobody comes close. Check them out. Go to seed.com/mindpump. Use the code 25mindpump, get 25% off. Back to the show. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by Mind Pump Fitness Coaching. This is the #1 course that teaches trainers and coaches how to build sustainable 6-figure plus businesses and careers in fitness. Look, it's roundtable based, so you can hear Adam, Justin, and myself teaching you how to build a better business, get more leads, close more deals, close bigger deals, and be more effective trainers. By the way, our course is nationally recognized. In fact, it gives you 1.9 CEUs with or for your NASM certification. Find out more at mindpumpfitnesscoaching.com.
Our first caller is Haley from Nebraska.
Haley,
Hi.
how are you?
How are you guys?
Good. How can we help you?
Happening.
Good. Okay. I think I'm just going to start with my email and then I might add a little more context that I think might be helpful.
Okay.
So I've been working out my whole life. I was an athlete growing up. I had my youngest son about 2 years ago. And after I had him, I decided I wanted to get more into lifting heavy. I did an InBody scan in January, and that showed my body fat at 21%. I eat about 130 grams of protein a day. I walk a ton, usually around 10 to 12,000 steps, sometimes more. I've done Muscle Mommy, and I'm almost done with anabolic. And so actually just this past weekend, out of curiosity, I went back and did another InBody scan, and it showed my body fat at 27%.
From 21?
Which 27%.
It was at 21.
Yeah, 21 to 27. And how short of a time?
So the first one was in January.
Yeah.
This one was just this past weekend.
Okay.
I don't really have a certain number in mind, but I guess I was just shocked to see it go up 6%. Just a little more context, I guess. I don't really know how much this matters, but I'm 32, about 5'4". At the time of my first scan, I was like 139 pounds. This last time I was 143. At the time of my first scan, I was doing more of like a push-pull lower split and quite a bit more cardio than I'm doing now. I was running about 2 days a week. Now the only cardio I really do is walking either outside or on my treadmill at an incline.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of at a loss. I don't really know where to go from here, I guess.
Do you feel like you went from 21 to 27? Just curious. Do you feel like that?
No, I don't. I feel about the same.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, how's your body went up 4 pounds?
Yeah.
How do your clothes fit?
About the same.
Yeah. You didn't go up 6%. But are you stronger? That's the other question I ask you, because you went up in protein, you're walking a lot, you're still strength training. Do you see any strength gains in that period of time?
I do, but not as much as I had hoped for.
But it definitely didn't go, excuse me, it definitely didn't go backwards.
No, not at all.
For you to go from 139 to 143 and to go up 6% body fat, you would have had to have lost muscle also for those numbers to be accurate. Okay. The fact that you got stronger tells me you didn't lose muscle.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't trust the scan, especially if you feel good, if you feel like you look good, or you look better, if you feel better. This is the problem I have with scans is, and I know they advertise the accuracy or whatever, but they can really mess with the person's head because, 4 pounds up, even if it was a 4-pound gain of pure body fat with no muscle gain, you wouldn't have gone up 6% body fat. You would have had to lost muscle also, which makes no sense if your strength stayed the same or went up.
Just out of curiosity too, did you like really pay attention to all the things you could control going into the scan as far as the time, like how much carbohydrates you had the day before and how much water you were drinking and the time of day you went? Was it all the same? Do you know?
As far as like eating and water probably wasn't exactly the same, but both times I did go like first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a before and after picture for yourself?
Not really. I was actually going through my camera roll trying to see what I could find. I don't really have any that you can see.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't live and die by this scan. If I see an increase in improvement in strength, if I see,
unlikely.
you're doing things good, you feel good, you look in the mirror, you're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Then it doesn't because it wouldn't be accurate. Now, if your strength went down considerably, if you're like, yeah, my squat went down 50 pounds, I'd be like, okay,
no.
you might have gained 4 pounds of body fat and lost, you might have gained 4 pounds on the scale, but also lost 5 pounds of muscle. So you gained 9 pounds total. I mean, I could go and try to figure the math out, but I'm almost positive there would have had to have been a simultaneous loss of muscle to cause a 6% increase in body fat.
I mean, the reason why I interrupted you when you first going, because right away it jumped out at me, is that's probably not accurate, even without you finishing your story. I mean, to go up 6% in that short a period of time, doing the things you were doing, you would really have to have messed things up, and I don't think you did. I think you did a good job. And most importantly, like, you don't feel that way. Like, this is where I don't like the scans at all. I of all of us, I probably use this tool the most, and like it for feedback. But this is an area where I would. I
just did the math.
What?
So the math is this: in order for that body fat percentage to be accurate, where you gained 6% body fat, you would have had to have lost roughly 5 pounds of lean body mass. So you 4 pounds up on the scale, but also 4 pounds of muscle loss. That's the only way that would be accurate. Now, the only way that would be accurate is if you lose 5 pounds of lean muscle.
She would be not eating her protein. She'd be running on a treadmill like crazy.
And you would not be stronger.
Yeah.
You also wouldn't even keep the same strength. You would have gone backwards. So it's false. So I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't let it get in your head.
Okay.
Yeah, they could totally do that. This is why I like.
Remind me where, I don't know if you said it and I didn't pick up on it. Did you say where your calories were at back in January and where your calories are at today?
I wasn't really tracking calories back in January. I have lately, just to kind of see where I'm at, and it's usually 1,800 to 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would keep reverse dieting. I'd keep going that direction. I think you have more room to go that way. And what are you following MAPS Anabolic right now?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay.
I have like 2 weeks
That's
left.
a good program for you.
Let's follow that up with symmetry. Do you have symmetry?
I do.
Oh, good. I like that. I like that for you. But yeah, this is, so whenever we're looking at measures of progress, it's a combined picture that we tend to look at. Now, when I'm training a client, I have a pretty good eye on what's going on. And I'll use these measures to assist me. But if I'm training you and I'm watching you in the gym and I'm like, oh, wow, we added 2 reps or we went up 10 pounds on this lift. And then you come back, you're like, I went up 6% body fat. And I'm like, no, that's impossible. You would have a lost muscle. I like strength because it's about as objective as it gets. And it's also so tightly correlated to muscle. Now, it's not 100%, so you could get stronger and not gain muscle. You could also lose a little bit of muscle and stay the same strength by improving technique and stuff like that. But you wouldn't see on somebody with 109 pounds of lean body mass a 5-pound loss in lean body mass with maintenance of strength or even an increase. That's not going to happen. So don't worry about it. Keep going keep going the direction you're going. And if you feel good, you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing if you're around the 21% range or even 22 to 23 range, you're doing great. You're doing great right now. You're in a good place.
I guess what made me want to do this scan the second time was I just feel like I'm not seeing really any physical changes. Like, I feel like I kind of look the same as I did when I first started, but I don't know, maybe that's just all in my head.
It might be. And, look at performance. Here's the deal. If you're getting stronger and you're feeling good, the look will follow that. But if you focus too much on the look, what we tend to do is we tend to sacrifice performance and strength and how we feel. And then we get neither. Okay. Now, as an athlete, I think that's a good message for you because you understand that as an athlete. When you're what sport was it that you were involved in?
Softball.
Yeah. So when you're playing softball, like nobody cares. All you care about is like, am I doing better on the field? Mm-hmm. So look at performance, and the way you're training is great, especially with an athletic background. Sometimes athletes have a tendency to overdo things. But I think you're doing things the right way. And you said your youngest is 2 now?
Yeah. Yep.
In my experience training lots of women, I know you look on social media and that you see all these mixed messages. I've trained a lot of women who had babies. a lot of ex-athletes that have babies. And it's around year 2, like when the baby's 2 years old, when they start to really feel like themselves. I mean, it's a slow progress, but it's right around when the kid's 2 where they're like, oh yeah, I'm back. And I know we see on social media women are like, oh, 4 months later, 5 months later, baloney. It's like, it's about 2 years that women tend to be like, oh yeah, I'm 100%.
Haley, are you in our private forum yet?
I'm not. Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna have Doug put you in there too. That way too, as you're going through this, and if you want, I don't know if tracking calories gets you obsessive or you're avoiding it for a reason. But if you're open to it, we can start doing that, and we can get a even closer look at what's going on. So if we knew like where you were January, where you are now, that would help tell a little bit more of the story. And so if you want to get a little more granular, that would be the next thing I'd ask you to do is like, hey, just stay the course, but just keep tracking like you are. So we can kind of keep a look at, say 30 days from now. And I think you can absolutely keep reverse dieting. I'd keep adding some calories, just 100, 200 calories a day and that range, and try and get stronger. That would be the main focus.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, Haley.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys.
You got it.
Recording.
Yeah, that's
that's
obviously right. I had to do the math because I'm like, yeah, I had to do the math.
I mean, when I interrupted her because it jumped out at me, I was just like, when was this test taken? Like a year ago or no, January? No way. She didn't. And here's the thing too. So 21% is pretty lean for a girl.
It is.
Okay. So one of the things with these things could be very inaccurate. The leaner you get, the more inaccurate they become.
That's true.
It's really easy to. I remember when I was down in the really single digit range and I was tracking. Oh God,
you could swing it.
And I was tracking every week. I was just obsessing about this. And it was like, oh my God, I had to stop tracking that much because how much I was fluctuating on the body scan. And I was like, there's no way I'm gaining and losing that much muscle and fat in that short period of time. But it's because you're so lean that you can really manipulate that with water and carbs and everything. So yeah, I think she's probably doing really good. She probably looks really good too. I'm guessing she's, especially ex-athlete, probably has good muscle
and
mass
softball, as those girls tend to have good muscle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our next caller is Victor from North Carolina.
What's up, Victor?
How you doing,
What's
Victor?
up, man?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. A little nervous. Just like some mellow to help me calm down. So hopefully this will go well.
That'll work.
How can we help you?
Yeah. Before I get into my question, can I give a quick shout out?
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife. She's been awesome with doing these math programs with me. And a quick shout out to my small group. My church has these small groups that meet throughout the week. And a special shout out to Craig, Julio, Jason, and Justin, who've been doing math programs for the last few years as well.
All right, man.
That's awesome.
All right. So question here. I was on the show last year asking about how you know when you're ready to move to a higher volume program. At the time, I had just started Matt's Powerlift, and by the end of it, I had some solid PRs. The one I was most proud of was pulling 405 on the deadlift.
Nice.
Before that, my heaviest deadlift was at 350, but that was with straps, sleeves, poor mobility, and at a body weight that was 50 pounds heavier.
Wow.
This time around, I was 50 pounds lighter, started incorporating Matt's Prime into my warm-ups, followed the blueprints to a T, and didn't use any accessories. So no straps, no belt, no anything.
Wow.
The deadlift is my favorite lift, and I've set a goal to hit 500 pounds by the time I turn 40 next August. That gives me about a year to make progress. So my question is, do you think that's a realistic goal? Is it reasonable to expect a 100-pound jump on my deadlift in a year? On top of that, I'm also aiming to drop another 30 to 40 pounds and maintain around 18% body fat. I grabbed a bunch of your programs during the Black Friday sale and came up with a plan for the ones I haven't run yet. Here's the order I'm thinking. I'm currently running Maps Transform, then plan to go into Maps Split, followed by Maps Cardio, then Maps Strong, and finally Maps Old Time. If everything goes smoothly, I'd wrap up Old Time just a few weeks before my 40th birthday. Does that order make sense for someone chasing a 500-pound deadlift while also cutting fat? Would you recommend changing anything? Also, if I'm priming before each workout, would I still need to run performance or symmetry to address imbalances? I saw that Old Time includes some unilateral work. Would that be enough to help correct those issues? And one more fun question just for fun. If 500 is realistic, is 600 completely out of the question?
Okay, so real quick, I love the programs you're choosing, but if the main goal is to get my deadlift up, then it would look very different. It would look like you're living mostly in powerlift with just some interruptions with something like symmetry or Old Time, because that's what's going to get you to the deadlift the fastest. If that's the main goal, but for overall, the program choices I think are great that you would be doing.
What's your body weight?
Great and balanced, but
what's your body weight at?
Yeah, body weight currently at 268.
Oh, you're a big dude. How tall are you?
6'1".
Yeah, a 500-pound deadlift is realistic. Trying to get to a 500-pound deadlift while also getting lean, not so realistic.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. So, if you're trying to get stronger while losing weight,
Real hard.
That's risk of injury city. You're really increasing your risk of injury. So be very careful with that. It's either one or the other. And you can alternate, right? You can go cut, try to maintain, then go into a bulk, try to gain and get stronger. It's during those sprints, during those bulks that you can chase the deadlift.
Specificity wins always, as much as, all full body strength and really building that foundation. I think you probably have a pretty good foundation. Now we have to get a little more specific in your focus towards that goal. So
How long have you been deadlifting consistently?
Ooh, they're about all your programs for about 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah. You could get to 500.
Yeah.
But you got to be patient. And what you don't want to do is push too hard too fast. So whenever you get a jump in your deadlift, your the tendency, the desire, the temptation is going to be to keep jumping. That's when you back off. Oh, okay, I just hit a new PR. I'm going to back off for a couple weeks before I start to scale back up. Otherwise, you'll give yourself you'll slow yourself down.
I think probably a good strategy for what you're trying to do would be something like this. I would run MAPS powerlift in a bulk and run MAPS old timey or MAPS symmetry in a cut.
Yeah.
So, and I would just toggle between those two programs for the next year. Like that will address any sort of maybe imbalances, moving in different planes, unilateral work, interrupting that, and then right back to powerlift. And when you're in powerlift, you're in a calorie surplus, and when you're trying to gain and trying to chase numbers. When you're in the symmetry or old timey, it's about the movement and you're cutting. So that's probably what I
really like old time strength, especially for grip strength and unilateral deadlifts. Like you're not going to do that in any other program. So it's going to fill a lot of gaps coming back to your bilateral.
So that would you toggle that like I was saying?
Yep.
I think so too. I like that a lot. And do it in a cut so that you keep body fat percentage low and you don't put. But then when you're trying to chase the numbers and you increase the deadlift, then you're going to want to increase to Sal's point.
Here's another tip too, because now you're starting to get into like some big numbers, is don't chase a bunch of lifts at the same time. That's going to be a tendency in a bulk. So, I'm going to max my bench out. I'm going to get this overhead row.
Great point.
Focus just on the deadlift.
Yep.
And when you back off on the deadlift, then you can focus on the squat, because the squat has a lot of carryover to the deadlift. Okay, so you're going to back off on your deadlift for a while. Oh, I just hit a new PR. For the next 3 weeks, I'm going to back off a little bit. And during those 3 weeks, I can kind of push my squat a little bit. There's a lot of carryover.
You could even do that. I love that advice. In fact, I would take that to the next level and go like this. When you're running powerlift on the first time, it's deadlift focused and just kind of cruise through the other ones in a sense. And then you go to the old timey. Then when you come back to deadlift, or when you come back to powerlift again, go to squat. And then on the third time you come back, go on deadlift again. And by that third time, you're hitting powerlift and you're focused on deadlift, that deadlift's going to come up. How much? 100 is a big goal, but I definitely think it'll go up.
Yeah.
It'll go up from that kind of programming focus. And that's a great point. Great. I'm glad Sal said that, because that's a mistake that I think a lot of guys will make.
That's what I did.
Is in powerlift, trying to make PRs in all of them.
That's
It's like if you really want to see deadlift, put that energy and stress into that, and then kind of, and by cruise, I don't mean like go super light, but just don't be trying to hit PRs on the other lifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, my long-term life goal is to be able to drop the body weight, get a body fat percentage. So, but definitely wasn't trying to cut too aggressive while trying to get to the deadlift. The deadlift is kind of like the goal by my birthday. It's next August. So I was hoping like running the different programs, changing the modality, it might be beneficial and kind of going up and down and with the bulks and cuts.
It is. It's a good idea what you're doing. It's just if
you just don't want to try to get aggressive cut while trying to get a PR.
And you are also going to get more benefit from running power lift more often and frequently if the goal is to get the deadlift up. If we had a 5-year time horizon, then following it the way you're doing it will probably lead to that over the course of a couple years. If we have like, hey, could I realistically by 40 hit 500? Well, then we're going to focus a little more on powerlift, like just powerlift and we're only interrupting it with old time to address like what Justin was talking about. That would get you to the path the fastest. But your idea is a great overall long-term game plan to still increase deadlift. It just might take longer because of that. Make sense?
Is 600 pounds unrealistic?
600 pounds is next level. So now you're talking elite.
Get 500 first.
Yeah.
Bro, 500 is a legit goal. That's in a 100-pound jump. That's a legit, but it's doable.
Few people could deadlift 500. Very few people could deadlift 600. So yeah. So
I'm good with being just a few people. 500.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
Yeah, so I want to be the strongest dude in church, so that's all good.
Yeah. Awesome.
Love it, dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Get after it, man.
All right.
Yeah. You have you already have everything that we talked about program-wise that you need, right? You've already got old time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool.
You got power lift, symmetry.
Okay. You're good to go there, bro.
All right, man.
I loaded up on Black Friday.
Keep us posted. I'd love to hear how this goes, man.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you for the time, guys.
All right,
You got it, bro. Yeah, that was, I got,
fun question.
I got up to 530, 540, and then it was so hard to go up from there.
Oh, yeah.
And then what I did is I started to back off, and then I'd focus on squatting, and then that would contribute to my deadlift. And that's also when I started incorporating bands and chains. So when I would back off on my deadlift, what it looked like was I'm not pulling the 535, I'm pulling more like 450, but I have chains on it, or I have bands to give me kind of progressive resistance. And then things really took off. And that's when I was able to get to 600.
I got to 555 and I stayed there for a long. It was tough for me to get beyond that.
Well, it's a big number, dude.
Yeah, that was a lot. But he's a big dude though, so he does have,
and he's tall. He's got long arms.
So he's got that working for him.
Next caller is Katrina from California.
Hi, Katrina.
How you doing, Katrina?
Morning.
Hi, good morning. Well, first off, I just want to say that you guys got me into this industry. I started listening 4 years ago. I was a flight attendant through the pandemic and just realized that was not going to be for me. And so I got into the fitness industry and just started to listen to you guys and got deeper into it. So I really appreciate you guys for just kind of being that in my ear and telling me how to be the best person I can be for my clients.
Awesome.
Right on.
All right, man. How can we help you?
So I'll just read off my question. I've been a personal trainer at a big box gym for about 4 years. And so I've been transitioning and becoming a mobile trainer and stretch practitioner. Most of my clients kind of have a home gym setup, but I also have equipment with me. And I just wanted to know what are some equipment that I should definitely make sure that I have, or if my clients are able to get, what am I not thinking about? And any versatile tools and things like that I should be considering.
Yeah, good question. Okay, so what's making you want to switch from being in a gym to just training people in their homes?
I like how personal it is to be in their homes. Most of my people are kind of more they're very busy. Most of the time they're busy moms. And it's hard for them to even get in and be consistent. So the easiest thing is I go to them. And it seems like it's turning into kind of a luxury service. And I kind of enjoy it. I kind of like running around and not being at the gym and oh my God, I only have 5 minutes. I got to go eat or use the restroom or something like that. So
good answer. That's the right answer. Because if you said it's because I want a better business or something like that,
more money.
That's the right answer. That's for the right reasons. And you said you're training a lot of busy moms.
Most of the time they're busy moms, but I have a little bit of everybody. Are
they alone with you when you're training them, or are the kids there too?
Most of the time they're alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking you is because if their kids are there too, then some of the stuff I would have you bring would be for the kids.
Right. No kids.
Okay. Because that's tremendously valuable to some clients. But okay, it's just you and them. They have basic to moderately equipped home gyms. What do they have at home?
Yeah. Do they have dumbbells already?
Yeah, it depends. So I have adjustable weights. I have a TRX. I have sandbags. I have all the types of bands. And so I bring that with me. And then some people, they might not even have a bench. And I'm realizing we should probably at least have one of those. But they'll have a Bozu or a Swiss ball, and just kind of depends. Some people have the means for it and they can get a rack if they want to, but I also want to suggest the correct things.
Do you have a pull-up bar that goes over the door?
no, I guess I should get one of those.
Yeah.
But then it's just like all these things in my car.
Hey, I know that was always the hardest one to get for in home, was to really get the lats.
Yeah, any of the pull down stuff is like, yeah.
Then you can hang
that's
your TRX off of it as well. So
And you
I
can
would
use
suggest that.
use the. I think that's a good call, because then you can also use the bands to support people that can't do a full body. Like a pull up bar is a good move.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, I'll give you this the like straight up answer. You don't need to bring anything.
Yeah.
You really don't need anything. Because they have a few things, and you can even just do this with body weight. In my experience, the mobile trainers that bring the most value tend to bring things that are unique to the trainer. So what do I mean by that? I had this one trainer that did both in studio but also mobile, but she also understood body work. So the one thing she would bring with her was a massage table.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, and that was really valuable. Like the clients loved the last 20 minutes of the workout where she would do. Yeah, so that's super, super valuable. You already have the TRX. You do stretch. So I would say yoga block if you don't have one. You know, things that, straps that could assist with the stretching part, because I'm assuming you're doing it with them or walking them through.
I normally just do assisted stretching, so I stretch them.
Yeah, and that would be it, really. I mean, you don't really need to invest.
I mean, it depends on how long you're doing it for, because, that can get pretty monotonous and it's really hard to progress. So, one thing that I did, because I did this for a long time, and I had to, kind of convince them to upgrade their situation. So this is where we have like PRX racks, and we have things like, so we could designate an area like in the garage or in the backyard where we can, kind of outfit that a little bit more with like a barbell, and be able to actually get a little more effective workout out of it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
How many clients do you have mobile?
Say that again?
How many clients do you have that are mobile?
I probably have about 12 clients right now.
Wow.
I just did Excel spreadsheet, and I should probably know that answer.
That's great. That's really, really good.
That is good. That's a good place to start for sure. Trainer course is where I'd put you. So because now you're at the business side. It sounds like you're equipped as far as the training part and the education and the stuff you're doing, and your clientele. The next part would be marketing yourself and how to scale your business. And
I was just going to say,
big time.
the hardest part about being a mobile trainer is not the equipment or the training. It's building your business.
That's right.
Yep.
That is, of all the ways you could train people, studio, big box gym, mobile's the hardest to grow your business.
But you do have a big advantage, right? You're solving their pain points. You just have to really like speak to that.
Yeah. So to solve that problem, what I've done is, like, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but I'm in like Carlsbad, Encinitas area.
Yeah, we know it very well. I know it very well.
Okay, yeah. So I'll set up right on the beach of Carlsbad. There's like a walkway that like it's basically moms walking during the day, and I just set up my table and I say, hey, I could give you a free demo stretch. And
that is awesome.
Great.
Yeah,
that's a great place. Yep. You're reaching a really, really a market that really needs good trainers.
Any desire to do virtual training too to complement the business?
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
It would be nice, because sometimes, filling up my schedule is really great, and then you're just running around like a crazy person.
Yeah. Did you apply to be one of our trainers?
No.
We just opened up for virtual coaches.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Where we actually send the leads your way.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'll look into that.
Yep. What's Kyle's website? He's got it at mindpumptrainer.com. Is that
boy, let me
I'll have Doug look it up and email to you the landing page for where you apply.
Yeah, apply.
And apply. You'll end up talking to Kyle and Katrina probably. What is it? Mindpumpjobs.com.
Jobs.com.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, you guys.
Apply there.
Yeah,
like, hey, I
apply
talked to the
there.
guys, and they said I should apply.
That, and then probably have Ann talk to you about the trainer course and the things that we're doing for the trainers to help scale their business. So those two things is probably the direction I'd point you. But you
definitely something I want to jump into. I'm just like traveling until September, and then I'm going to put everything on hold and just like really hone in as hard as I can. But
awesome.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah, great job so far. 12 mobile clients, a big deal. That's really good.
Yep.
I love it. It's great.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
You got it. That's the hardest
Oh God.
way to build your business.
I know.
That
I
is
mean,
the
that's a
hardest.
discourager. But I hated that, dude.
You don't like doing that?
I did not. I did. And for a lot of actually what we're
I
talking
just
about,
charged the grip for it.
I
and
mean,
I liked it.
You have to because you got to
'cause you-
drive there.
But yeah, it's a total pain to organize your entire day around all that.
What worked for me with mobile training was that if I did a good job, I ended up training the family.
Yeah.
So then the next client was the husband.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 And it turned
I
into
just, what she's doing though is great though. I think if she has a niche market she's really good at, and she's doing like pelvic floor stuff, and she's doing a lot of stretching and body work, in addition to like a handful of exercises that she helps these clients with, I think that could be really cool. I think that for me, I was bored to death in living rooms.
It's very limited. Yeah.
But I tell you what, especially if you're a female trainer, this is an incredible market.
I actually think it's better for a female trainer. It's less intimidating to invite. I think that was also another challenge that I had as a man. Like not a lot of husbands.
The husband watching from the living
totally.
room.
I can't tell you how many
a few times.
first couple sessions husbands were home from work those days. You know what I'm saying?
Handsome ass
Like
Adam
a hawk
walks up.
just in the corner. Just
Super handsome Adam walks up the door. I'm here to train your wife. Oh, you are.
Yeah, it just
No,
it felt awkward because of that.
does.
So, but that's so for her, it's probably a lot different than what it was for me. So, but I mean, to have that many clients already, that's a great start.
Totally.
Our next caller is Jennifer from Louisiana.
Hi, Jennifer.
Jen,
hello.
Hey guys,
how you doing?
How can we
how
help
are
you?
you?
Good.
Well, I'll just read through my email really quickly to kind of give you the background and then hop to my questions if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you all so much for having me. I found your podcast sometime in 2022. It's been a game changer for me. You've helped reshape not only how I approach fitness, but how I think about food and exercise and long-term health. I wanted to write in for a while, and now felt like the right time. I'm a 38-year-old mom who gained significant weight during both of my pregnancies. Like many women, I was already dealing with the yo-yo weight struggle prior to adding any extra baby weight. After having kids, it felt like I would never bounce back. I lost myself in the process. Trying to do that. Over the years, I've tried every kind of fad diet, keto, low carb, tracking calories and macros, diet pills, everything, you name it. Some worked short term. I managed to lose around 70 pounds between 2020 and 2024, but I always end up back in the same place, burnout, disappointed, and battling binge eating cycles that I couldn't break. Before starting a GLP-1 in June of 2024, I was working hard in the gym. Thanks to your podcast, I had broken up with the high-intensity cardio-focused workouts and had fallen in love with lifting heavy. I was beginning to see real results, and I felt strong and capable. Food still had a grip on me mentally, and my weight loss would stall once again. After starting a GLP-1, my training intensity decreased some as I didn't always feel fueled to lift heavy, but I did my best to stay consistent, 2 to 3 workouts a week and trying to walk daily. I never gave up, just adapted. I also have chronic lower back pain that I've been working with a chiropractor and recently a pain specialist to stay proactive and keep moving. 1 year on my GLP-1 changed everything. I lost an additional 42 pounds. I broke free from binge eating for the first time. I finally felt at peace with food. I stuck with workouts and walks even when my motivation was low. And I focused more on health and consistency. After a year, I took a 2-month break from medication to kind of see where I stood, quickly realizing that it was easy for emotional eating habits to come back in. That break was powerful because it confirmed that the medication isn't a crutch, it's a tool. And now I'm choosing to use it again, this time with more clarity and long-term vision. Now I'm not just chasing fat loss, I'm focused on building lean muscle strength and a resilient body that I can rely on. I've learned so much from your podcast, and I've also invested in some of your programs, such as Aesthetic, Anywhere, and MAPS 15. Over the past year, I haven't maintained a consistent routine, just choosing a few foundational exercising and alternating between upper and lower body. My priority was simply moving the weight where I could focus on my therapy exercises to address my lower back pain. So my questions are, I'd obviously love your insight on this phase of my journey. What's the best way to support muscle growth and prevent muscle loss while on the medication? How should I approach fueling and recovery when hunger cues are low, but training is still a priority? And what kind of mental shifts do you recommend when transitioning from years of dieting into a performance and strength driven mindset?
Great question.
Oh, man, great place too.
And
You've
good
been doing
job.
great. Yeah, incredible.
I appreciate
Thank
your
you.
vulnerability and your honesty. You really helped a lot of people right now by talking about
Thank
that.
you. Yeah.
So here's the approach I would go with the GLP-1. Is your doctor, the one that's prescribing it, are they open to adjusting the dosage?
Or are you on preloaded pens?
Well, I just started back on it, so I'm on the lowest dose. I just started a week ago. I'm at a new clinic. We did a bunch of blood work and things. So there's some other things that I've actually looked into as well with them, hormone therapy and things like that.
Okay.
But so right now I'm on the lowest dose.
Okay. So what you want to do with the GLP-1 is if you're looking to really change those behaviors and habits in the long term so that eventually the promise is I can come off and not rebound, okay? What it looks like is you're going to use the minimum effective dose of the GLP-1. Now, what does that mean? What that means is you're going to use enough of it to where you could still battle and struggle, but you don't feel like you're losing. What you don't want to do is use so much of the GLP-1 that now you're under eating and it's
Crushes
like,
the
I'm not
appetite.
even hungry.
Yeah.
So you want to...
Yeah, it got to that point, which is why I kind of got off of it. I got to the point where I was kind of sick of food. I didn't like that feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe, coming down,
Exactly, because you'll lose weight doing that, but it's because you just don't want to eat. And then when you come off, the cues come back, and then you're left unequipped, right? So think of it like training wheels, and what you're going to slowly loosen those wheels to the point where you finally take them off. So use the GLP, just use enough, and you're going to have to play with your dose and work with your doctor, so that it's enough for you to eat enough. And also kind of like work through some of those challenges, but not so little to where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this.
Right.
And it's going to be a slow process is what it looks like.
Are they the preloaded pens or are you actually drawing it?
So the first round, the first year, they were the preloaded. I would just go to the clinic and they would give me the pre-filled vials. But now it's going to be, I'll load them myself.
Oh, awesome!
So she can play with the dose.
Okay, awesome. And so the traditional way is they'll have what they call their lowest dose, but there's nothing that says you can't go even lower than that. So to Sal's point, and I don't know how much of my journey you listened to when I went through the whole process of taking.
I have heard a little bit, of yours.
Yeah,
I haven't heard all of it.
And I ended up playing a lot with the dose, and I eventually got to a place where I was lower than what they would consider the low dose, but still enough to cancel out the food noise, but enough that I was like, oh, okay, I could eat like 2,500 calories and be okay. Beyond that, it was hard, but it kept me at a place where I could eat a healthy amount of protein so my body could sustain the muscle, but I didn't have any of the binge things going on at all. So you can do that. You can work with your doctor and see if it's okay to go a little bit even lower than what the low dose is so that you can kick that appetite up just a little bit, but help you with the food noise.
Think of it like strength training, Jennifer. You're going to, if I'm training you with weights, I'm going to give you an appropriate weight. What does that mean? You're going to struggle enough to cause adaptation, but not so much that your form goes off or you hurt yourself or you overtrain. If I go too easy, nothing happens. If I go too hard, we go backwards. So that's how you want to do with this with your GLP-1. Like, okay, what's enough to where I can win this battle, but I still have a little bit of a battle. I still have to develop these behaviors. I still have to work on some of these challenges, but it's giving me enough help to where I'm not failing all the time. That's where you want to be. And you're going to play with that a little bit over time.
And the reason why is because we have to hit enough calories and protein so that you can hold or build muscle. If you're eating 1,300 calories or whatever, I don't know what the number is right now, but if you're eating something that low, we're just not going to build muscle that way. And we're going to continue to lose muscle at that rate. So we want to find a more happy medium calorie wise. Are you tracking to see kind of where the calories are landing by chance?
I have not been, because that's also been a toxic cycle in my history.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
I'm willing to kind of do it again, but my husband and I had a carnivore kick earlier last year, and so since then I've kind of just everything I try to focus on protein. Every meal, protein is the priority, before anything else.
That's a good strategy then. I would, just so you know, because you said that, if I was coaching you, I'd ease you into it. I don't know if I'd jump you right to tracking because you just told me that. So I could easily just look at your protein and make sure that we're hitting adequate protein, but we definitely need to be hitting adequate protein. And more likely, if you're doing that and then having a balanced meal, you're probably landing in a healthy enough calorie range.
Yeah. But again, think about it this way. Think of it as a step-by-step process. So right now you're crawling, you got to learn how to walk before you can run, and then you can learn and once you can walk well, then you can run. So it's a step-by-step process with your dose and your behaviors and how you feel. And so you're going to, again, it's like, okay, I can see that this is helping with my appetite. This is helping with the strong cravings, but I also am having to work on this a little bit, having to figure out how to deal with whatever it is that triggers you to overeat or to binge, right? Whether it's stress or anxiety or boredom, whatever. And you little by little, you work on developing a better relationship with food. And then the biggest thing, I'm going to tell you this, Jennifer, is give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. This is not a short process. This is something that you've probably, well, you said in your email, you've been dealing with for a long time. This relationship and these behaviors were developed over years and years and years and years. They're not going to get erased overnight. And you are going to mess up. So expect that you're going to take some steps back. And when you do, you got to give yourself grace, because if you get stuck in that shame spiral, forget about it. Then you're going, then you lost the battle. So it's like, okay, I messed up a little bit. I know I was going to. Let's start over. Let's do that. Okay, you're okay. This is good. This is part of the process. And sometimes it's going to look like 5 steps back. Sometimes you're going to mess up, and then you mess up again, and you come back and you mess up again. But give yourself grace. I promise you, over time, you will progress in the right direction.
Jen, have you considered having a coach take you through this process?
Not necessarily specific to the GLP-1 journey or anything like that. I've just been, I just work out at home as far as exercises and just try to, you're the only health and fitness podcast I listen to. So really, any kind of advice you give is what I get from myself.
Yeah, you're doing great. I just know how challenging this can be, even on a week-to-week basis. I'd love for have one of my coaches call you and just kind of meet with you and see if that's something that would work as far as helping you out through that process. Yeah, okay. So if you're open to that, when we hang up, I'll have somebody contact you and then talk to you a little bit further through some of the things that we would do with someone like you as you're going through this process. All in all, you've done a great job, but you are at a place that eventually, after you've had a lot of success with GLP-1s, this is the place where I think a lot of clients, they're like, okay, I don't want to be on this medication for the rest of my life. I know that it's helped me so much, but I do, and you're at that place. And so helping you ease out of that and find a balanced calories and that relationship with food and everything like that, this is a crucial time for long-term success. So I'll have someone call you and we'll help you through this.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
All right,
Thank
Jen.
you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Yeah, that's the thing is, the back half of my career training clients, what I got good at, you meet your clients where they're at. Really, the main thing I got good at was giving them grace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they felt that, and they were able to screw up, and they were okay, and they were able to be vulnerable about it. And then they were able to get back on and move forward. And then it just, over time, that's what works.
100% why I asked for her to do a coach, because that's what she just needs someone to tell her, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're fine. Now do this
That's
week.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And just remind her of what a great job she is doing and how far we've come already.
And it's hard.
And it is. And it's hard. And this is to me, this is the greatest challenge of the GLP-1 right here. Is the people, once they get to their kind of goal where they want to be weight loss wise, and now they go, okay, I want to get off of this.
Where do I go from here?
But I know how much it has helped me with the noise, and I know, and her, like she came off, she noticed it right away, and so it's like, how do I transition that? So a crucial time, and I do agree that a lot of that has to do with the proper grace to give herself, and it's hard to do it to yourself,
100%. All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. 30% body fat. For men, this is way too high. This is actually a bit high for women as well. So in today's episode, we're talking about how you can go from 30 to 10. What is 10% body fat? This is when you have a visible six-pack. Can you go from 30 to 10%? Yes, it's possible, but not if you guess along the way. So we're going to talk about how you can do that in today's episode.
Now, there's a huge range, right, of like body types.
Yes.
Some people can run a little bit heavier or a little bit higher body.